Amend2, Magpul, ETS, the battle of the Glock all polymer magazines. So here we go. I have all three, the only three. I believe these are the only three. I haven't found any other ones. I believe these are the only three all polymer Glock mags on the market. If there is another one, I've never heard of it, and so whatever. These are going to be the most popular three then. ETS, Magpul, Amend2. I've never reviewed the ETS mags on their own. I've never reviewed the Glock or the Magpul. I'm sorry, the Amend2 on their own. I did review the Glock or the Magpul mag, and on an initial review they worked pretty good, but I have had many problems with them since. Now you may say, well, you're already going into this review biased. Biased because I've already had problems with this. Biased because if you guys know my channel, you know I love Amend2 magazines, but as Amend2 AR mags, I have had a number of problems with these. And while these are my most recent one, the ETS, I have had a few problems feeding with these. So I figure if all three are going to have problems, I might as well see which one's the worst. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do some basic function tests. We're going to run a couple different kinds of ammo through it. We're going to do a dirt inclusion test, and we're going to do a durability test. Nothing crazy, but something that you would reasonably find done to any magazine. All right, so we are going to start with the ETS mag, fully loaded, 15 rounds of brass Federal, the stuff you find at Walmart. I can tell you that already, loading them up, the ETS was the hardest to top off. The last two rounds were difficult compared to the other two. So this is not an accuracy test, this is just a basic function test. Okay, good. Let's not get it too dirty yet, because we're not doing the dirt test. What's the next one I'm going to grab? The Magpul. Let's go from a closed, like I did. Okay, so they both seat pretty well. Lock open, 15 rounds. And Amend2. If I can get it out of my prison wallet. Oops. From closed. Brass ammo, clean, they're functioning great. All right, now we're doing a mix of steel case and aluminum case. I'll show you the ETS here so you can see that. It's about half and half, steel wolf and the aluminum, the Federal aluminum stuff you buy at Walmart. All right. ETS mag, good to go. I have had feeding problems with all of these on, and so you can see there's steel in there, on all of these for both steel and aluminum. Magpul made it through. Steel case in there. This almost sounds like it might be stuck already. Amend2, rock and roll. All right, so you guys, if you guys have ever watched my magazine videos like this, you know this is something I normally do. I download the magazine, these got 10 in them, because I want the weak spring pressure. I want to see how well these things do under probably the worst case conditions, which would be weaker spring pressure because they're downloaded, and dirt inclusion. So I'm just going to, let it dig in there a little bit. I think that is reasonable to say that I'm going to go ahead and take that one out and put it back in because there was mud on the primer. That is reasonable to say because that sort of simulates kicking it around. Okay, no mud on the primer. No mud on the primer. You can see in the ETS there, kind of hear it, how much dirt's in there. So I'm going to give it just a little bit more, right? And let's run them. We'll do this in a continuous shot so that if the results are not what people expect, because it's their favorite mag or whatever, that they can't say that I rigged it. Let's start with Amend2. Right? I don't know if you can hear that. That is pretty, right off the bat. Right off the bat, fade to feed. And the follower stuck. Alright, so I got the follower unstuck. That's a giant failure. When remedial action won't fix it, that's not okay. ETS. ETS. Okay, that chambered. Fade to feed. Give it the same opportunity that I did the Amend2. Completely stuck. Magpul. I'll be damned. This is the one I've actually had the worst problems with to this point. And it passed that. And I think it's because it's enclosed. I don't like the fact that it's enclosed because I can't see the round count. But being enclosed, I don't think as much dirt was able to get into it. So I'm sitting here. I'm still got two stuck followers. Two completely stuck. Oh, this one just came loose. Let's see if I can get the tossing this on the ground just release that mag or that follower. So let's see if I can get these last three to cycle. Okay, ETS cycled those last three. All right, so I was gonna just wipe them out, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean these all three the same way, which is put the base plate back on this ETS, maybe. There we go. And I'm going to just water them down. There's the Magpul mag. There's the Amend2. And the ETS. Okay, I'm gonna call those cleaned out, and we're gonna go through one more. All right, so basically all I'm going to do is, I have 10 rounds in each, download it again. I'm just going to throw them on the ground, stop on them a couple times. This simulates dropping the mag, stepping on it, running with it, all the different drills you might do when you're moving and stepping on these mags. I think this is probably about as realistic as it's going to get. So there's that. Right in the dirt. Go ahead and make it fair. 10. That's the Amend2. This is Magpul. Lost a round, so that's bad. We did lose a round. Ooh, that did not sound good at all. But it ran all 9. ETS. That went in kind of sluggish. All right, remedial action being just the tap sent it home. A little bit too much dirt. And the gun is no worse for wear. All right, so in the end, these have had a pretty complete test. I started this test having issues with each one of these randomly throughout shooting them since I've owned them. I probably had the most problems with the Magpul and the Amend2 in the history that I've had them, and the least amount of problems with the ETS. But today's testing showed that it really doesn't matter which one you get. Basically what I think it amounts to is any one of these three makes for a really good range and practice magazine. Especially if you shoot different types of ammo. If you're shooting premium ammo all the time in an extremely clean environment, these are probably going to run forever for you. If you do what I do and you're out here rolling around in the dirt all the time and your magazines are getting about the worst treatment magazines could get, they fail consistently for me. So I always get to practice my malfunction drills. ETS, stuck mag, or stuck follower on the dirt test came clean, and then had a stuck follower failure to feed on the after it's washed and stomped on test. Amend2 had a stuck follower in the dirt test and ran smooth after being cleaned and stomped on. The Magpul, I think this is the first gen of them, I'm not sure, but the Magpul all polymer Glock mag ran pretty good, although I don't think it came as clean as these did in the end. Now, one thing I do like about the Amend2s is that built-in pinky rest. You know, it's almost like a mag extension. That's one of the things I do like about this. But it has its problems. The Magpul is a little bit longer, but not quite like this. I can't even get them to drop free. They're so dirty now. And of course, ETS is much like a stock magazine. So again, I think are all great range mags. They all performed reasonably well considering what I put it through. But in the end, the Magpul mag came out to be the best one in this particular test. So take that for what you will. And I mean, I'm not going to carry them, but I'll continue to shoot them. Thanks for listening. I will put down below in the description all the ways you can support the channel, and we'll talk to you later.